because as Aaron said, he is finely dressed there, and we noticed the kids that we would see during the day while we were teaching them, they looked just nice. You know, they had a nice pair of clothes on, and their hair would be combed, and some of them would even have lipstick. Well, just one girl specifically. But then on the other 2 days when we came, so the first 2 days teaching, the other 2 days when we were painting, and they would come back, they wouldn't have the same nice clothes on, and some of them didn't even wear their shoes. They saved them for the nice days. For example, days that they go to church, or times when they're going to school if they needed to keep them nice. So it was really kind of sad to see, oh, these kids look like they're doing okay, and then you really realize, no, they want to impress the teachers. They want to impress the preachers or wherever they go, but they don't have nice things to wear always. And the little girl that did wear lipstick, we got to visit her home. We went up onto the mountainside and saw what the two ladies who live there and kind of organize and collaborate with the people in Nicaragua to get the children to come to this school program. We saw the little girl who wore the lipstick the one day, and we saw inside of her house. And she did have a concrete house, which was a step above the, what do you call that?
The slums.
The slums area, yeah, where it was just, they even had garbage bags on the sides of the walls. But so they did have concrete, but inside, I think there was a picture of Jesus, and there was kind of a mattress thing, which apparently the whole family slept on. And the washrooms are never inside of the building, so it really was just one square cement block. And I think there might have been something else in the corner, but nothing. This family had nothing at all. But she did have this little precious lipstick that she wore for the day that we taught her. So we thought that was really special and quite sad that she would wear that to show people, you know. I don't know, it's very precious that those kids have things that are special and they want to, and other people see that too. So they're starting to value education more there, and that's one thing that I really appreciated with this trip, because we got to see where people's value lies so much and in our own lives too.
This is our library book set for Little Schoolhouse. So that's a little...
So those are all donated items?
Yes, everything's donated or sponsored by Outreach. This is this little room, and this is one of the rooms in the schoolhouse. You can see they've managed to put a few picnic chairs, and it's a small place. It's a very small place. It's probably about 400 square feet total between the three rooms, so it's quite small.
One thing about that small room, you can keep going, that's fine. But as we were teaching public health education, we talked about different foods that were healthy, not healthy, and germs and their pathways. In that small room, one of the activities we did was blow bubbles, and because you talk about how germs can pass from the dog or the ground to your hands or to the doorknob. So we made germ pathways. Those are one of the lessons we taught. But in that small room one day, Erin was, as being a nurse and knowing, germs can come from anywhere, not just when you touch something dirty. They can be on your hands at any time. So we had bubbles, and Erin and I stood on those chairs, and the little kids were below us. We talked about how germs are everywhere, and you always have to wash your hands, because even if you don't think you're touching anything all day, you'll probably get a germ. But anyways, so we stood on those chairs, and we blew bubbles, and we told the kids, pretend these are germs and stay away. And I've never been in such a shrill, exciting, happy place. The kids were screaming, trying to stay away from the bubbles, jumping around, and it was a very fun lesson.
It was good. It was a lot of fun. This is Leah's favorite animal. She hates birds. This is on a walk that we took in Cumby Forest. And it was raining that day. A little more mountainside, a little more in the area. This is an example of how they haul coffee. It's all bagged up. You'll see a few more pictures. Go ahead, Nathan. This is drying coffee. This is a little in the lowlands, and this is a major industry. This is what supports a large portion of Nicaraguans. A lot of their sustenance is based off of coffee, either picking, drying, processing. And wouldn't you love to go to a grocery store like that? Just, all right, gather it up. Here's another picture of a house. This is where somebody lives. I'm not sure what this guy's doing. I think he's taking a nap in the back of an old red Toyota. Here's a couple more pictures, I think, of we were playing a matching game, so they had to identify what. We had pictures on the other sides of these. So one of our groups of kids.
And that is our schoolhouse?
That's the schoolhouse. That's the front of it. It's the garage, and then this main door, there's a main room between the garage and this door, and then there's two little half rooms right there in the back courtyard. I think this is probably one of my favorite pictures of the entire trip. This is what he was doing he was just playing, this guy, and this is in the middle of a market.
And you don't see a lot of toys. Kids are often playing with, sticks or bent up bicycle frames, I don't know, things, like they find things.
Yeah. This is in the middle of a market, and there's guys raking coffee, drying coffee just beyond this gentleman. Don't know the story, we were just walking by, and we see this in Saskatoon sometimes too, you know.
This is the germ pathway. I was going to say about the coffee though, we did on Friday get to experience a large coffee plantation. However, the smaller coffee farmers, those are the coffee, for example, the last picture you saw, or other pictures of coffee in the streets, they need to dry the coffee before it is shipped away. So they lay their coffee out wherever they can find space.
That's kind of a dark picture, it's hard to see, but there's about 30 kids in the space of about our entryway, our first little room, it felt like.
And for all you teachers out there, it was a little bit difficult when kids weren't responding well or being a little bit bratty because you can't speak Spanish, so bring them back in line, but we had games and whatnot to pull them back in.
So a big group. This is our painting day. We had a couple kids that came and kind of helped for a little while. Nicaraguans love bright colors, as you can see, and this is another of Leah's favorite pictures. Favorite moments.
Those were all alive, those chickens. Just hanging.
So Leah's squatting down painting, kind of right here, and all of a sudden I hear a screech. And I come out and there's a lady with a bunch of chickens.
So it was nice when these boys came to help the next day. Of course, once again, the language barrier was difficult, but they did call us teachers, so they would stand outside the door saying, "Teacher, teacher," and we knew that they wanted to come in and help. And our leaders that we were with said, it's great for the kids to be part of their own place, take some ownership, so they helped us.
I did all the hard work, as you can see.
This is Coke in a bag for a treat after a long day of painting. Very hot in there, you can see, nice and shiny.
Leah doing all of her hard work. That's our finished product in the front.
So they really do want the school to be somewhere where the kids are interested in coming and the kids find value and they want, because their school there, they don't learn English very well, they don't, their standards obviously different than here in Canada or anywhere in North America. So Coco is the girl in purple and Alma in white. Alma is originally from Hinotega, went and got her social work degree in Managua, the capital city of Nicaragua, and then came back to work so that they would have a local and someone that knows the area well. And Coco is originally from Toronto in Canada, but she's been working with Outreach for 9 or 11 years. And
she's been Dominican for quite a few years.
Yeah, so she's a very, very good presence to have there. She's very loving. She's in her 40s and just really gives so much of her life to this that I don't think we've had conversations about moving back, and that's something that Erin and I talked a lot about afterwards too. For Coco, she chose outreach and mission to be her life, and it's pretty difficult when you're living in a North American city or community and to choose to have missions be your life yet live here. There's such a disconnect, so that's something we've had a lot of conversations about, and we'd be interested in talking with you guys too, see what we have to do.
We were at a culture night, got to hear some amazing, really actually this guy was phenomenal. I wish I could play guitar like him and sing like him. And this is poetry reading in Spanish, which of course was a little different. The pan flutes. This was really entertaining. Go ahead.
This was an interesting evening at the culture night because we were just invited, and on the street when we were walking through the market one day, come to our culture night. And Erin and I were like, oh, that could be interesting. But we went and it ended up being 3 hours, which is really long when it's all in Spanish. But it was good to be there for our presence of the outreach, because they really do want themselves to be well known for all the children in the community to be able to come. So that's why we stayed with that.
So a quick overview of the coffee. Here is one of the coffee pickers, and there's red berries and yellow berries. There they are. And your little coffee beans, everything you drink in the morning is in that little berry. They're drying it on the street. And here's a separating plant. That's before you dry it. gets the pulp off. There's